Will Smith was sipping his coffee that morning when he noticed an envelope at his doorstep. He almost ignored it until he saw the date on it. October 15th, 2043. It was a letter from the future, but the most shocking part was the single sentence inside. Find Ethan. Without him, everything will be lost. Who was Ethan? And why did Will Smith have to find him? The answer would take him on an adventure he never expected. Will Smith was having a quiet morning at his home in Los Angeles. He had just finished preparing for his next movie project and needed some rest. But that morning, something happened that would change his life forever. On his doorstep, he found an envelope with a date that made no sense. October 15th, 2043. It was a letter from the future. But how? And why was it sent to him? When he opened the letter, there was only one sentence. Find Ethan. Without him, everything will be lost. Will tried to understand what it meant, but he had so many questions. Who was Ethan? Why did he need to find him? And most importantly, who sent this letter? Will decided to take action. He asked his friends if they knew anyone named Ethan, but no one did. Then, he started researching the date on the letter. What would happen in 2043? These questions led him down a path he never expected. Will reached out to a scientist named Dr. Emily Carter, who specialized in time travel and parallel universes. When Will showed her the letter, her face changed. This letter might really be from the future, she said. But why was it sent to you? And who is Ethan? These questions only made Will more curious. Will and Dr. Carter started working together to find Ethan. They tried everything, but every step led to more questions. One day, Will got a text message. You're running out of time to find Ethan. Be careful. Who sent this message, and why were they warning him? Will followed the clues, which led him to a neighborhood on the outskirts of Los Angeles. There, he met a 10-year-old boy named Ethan. Ethan lived with his mom, who was sick and needed help. Will still didn't understand why Ethan was so important. But he knew one thing. He had to save this boy's life. Will started helping Ethan and his mom. But one night, a strange car pulled up outside their house. A man stepped out and walked up to Will. Leave Ethan alone, he said. If you don't, everything will fall apart. Will wondered who this man was. And why was Ethan in so much danger? Will was determined to protect Ethan. With Dr. Carter's help, they discovered that Ethan would grow up to be a scientist who would change the world. But some powerful people didn't want that to happen. Will knew he had to keep Ethan safe, no matter what. Will moved Ethan and his mom to a safe place, but the threats didn't stop. One day, a package arrived at Will's house. Inside was another letter from the future. Protect Ethan. He is the key to the future. Will was starting to understand, but there were still so many unanswered questions. Will put together a team to protect Ethan. But one night, Ethan's mom told Will a secret. Ethan's father is still alive, and he will do anything to find him. Will was shocked. Who was Ethan's father? And why did he want to find his son so badly? Will set out to find Ethan's father. His search led him to an old laboratory, where he learned that Ethan's father was a scientist who had been working on time travel. But something had gone wrong during an experiment, and he had disappeared. Will started putting the pieces together. Ethan was meant to finish his father's work and change the future. That's why some people wanted to stop him. Will came up with a final plan to protect Ethan. He needed to find Ethan's father and reunite him with his son. But it wouldn't be easy. Will and Dr. Carter decided to recreate the time travel experiment. It was risky, but they had no other choice. When Will and Dr. Carter started the experiment, everything seemed to be going well. But suddenly, there was an explosion in the lab. When Will opened his eyes, he was in the year 2043. Could he find Ethan's father? And could they save the future? In 2043, Will found Ethan's father. He explained everything, and together, they made a plan to save Ethan. Will and Ethan's father returned to the present and rescued Ethan from danger. Now, Ethan would be safe with his father. After this adventure, Will's life changed forever. He officially adopted Ethan and supported him in every way he could. Years later, Ethan grew up to become a scientist who changed the world. Will never forgot this incredible journey. Years later, Ethan wrote a letter to Will. Will, if it weren't for you, I would never have made it. You didn't just save my life, you saved the future. When Will read those words, tears filled his eyes. That letter on his doorstep had been just the beginning, and Will realized once again how amazing life could be. So, do you think letters from the future could be real? And if you ever got one, what would you do? Will Smith's story shows us that sometimes the most unexpected moments can change everything. Maybe one day you'll take that step to change someone's life too. Who knows? This story sends an inspiring message. Sometimes even the smallest steps can lead to big changes. Will Smith's decision to save Ethan didn't just change one boy's life, it saved the future. Maybe one day you'll be the one to take that step and make a difference. You never know. This brings us to the end of this story. Thank you for watching till the end. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, don't hesitate to like the video and share it with your friends too. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more fascinating stories. Have a nice day.